be on every play. I mean, you were tearing them apart. What's going on?
What do you expect, Danny? That's why I'm taking over the women's team. Only thing Kim Hart leaves is the men to her bedroom.
Kim Hart looks around his daughter saying, what do you mean by that?
Well, if Shave Brown's enthusiasm is contagious, the Riot are in trouble. And Mark Webber, he's on the retirement tour. How will he do on these quad skates? Well, we'll see in this period. And the king, Richard Brown, he always has something to say. Quad skates, inline skates. He's a master at physical and finesse player.
We're ready to go. Period number 2 underway, and the men are on the track. We're tied up now at 8-8. The Jammers get out, and they get out quick. One of the Riot just went over the rail before the period practically even started. That was Travis Wills getting bumped. And now on to the Jam for the Riot. That's number 54, Mike Tanner. And Mike Tanner's out there against the Hot Dice Christian Salvia, who goes down. And now the Hot Dice with Ray Robles in back to lead the charge through the pack. Look at him pick up speed. Snuck down 2 at one time. Calling off the Jam. The Illinois Riot will settle for 2 points. And Robles goes to work.
And Ray Robles, we talked about the 1-2 punch of him and little Richard Brown. We also mentioned Mark Webber spouting his mouth about his retirement tour. Well, Mark Webber, he got it done after the fact, but Ray Robles got it done on the Jam.
Ray Robles has been skating for a long time on quad skates or any other skates you want to talk about. And right there, he took 2 men out and added a little quad skate in the back for good measure. Andy Wallace trying to get out from the back of the pack, but instead Mo Sanders emerges for the Riot. Now this guy can skate. Mo Sanders can fly around that track, and he's out there by himself right now. Trying to catch him from behind for the Illinois Riot is Micah Martin. And Sanders actually slipped down a little too fast for his own good. Look at the pack. Just working. Richard Brown and Ray Robles just working over the middle of the pack. Mark Webber.
Well, and Mark Webber was talking a lot before the game about his retirement tour. Of course, he wore the quad skates. I tell you, I had mentioned that those quad skates might not be the best way for Mark Webber to get around. Well, they took full advantage of the lack of experience he has on that mode of transportation. You see the gaze of little Richard Brown.
They call a holding. Look at Ray. What do you mean holding? That's about the only thing I didn't do to him. I never held him. I kicked him. I elbowed him. I threw him up against the rail. I took him out of the pack, but I didn't hold him.
Well, and once again, Mark Webber on those quad skates is not himself, Rory. He's usually very agile. We all know that the inline skates afford you much more lateral mobility. He doesn't have it. And, you know, you can make a statement before the game, but young man, take them off and go with what brought you here. That's foolish.
Travis Wills is out there for the Riot. Oh, they bumped heads. It looked like they bumped heads on purpose. He's out there with Jason McDaniel. They did bump heads on purpose. McDaniel heads him out of the play like it's a soccer ball. Well, Jason McDaniel, we talked about him in the open, and here he comes up to little Richard Brown, who says, I've got something for you right here. Hit me with your head. I like it. Brown rips him with the right elbow repeatedly. Whoa! Brown goes down, and Webber was waiting for him right there. He and McDaniel celebrate.
Well, he calls it roll them bones. The result is that grimace on the face of Richard Brown. I guess he didn't need quad skates to pull off his patented move. But Mark Webber seems to be going hot and cold. One game he's getting the tar knocked out of him, the next. And this is great teamwork. Right here, you see his teammate, the X-Man, Jason McDaniel, the X-Man, Mark Webber, and the pain on the man, the king, he calls himself, little Richard Brown.
Ray Robles just hit Mark Webber with an elbow right to the mouth. And Webber turned around as though he were stunned and hit him right back. Now Webber whips his jammer out. Little Micah Martin, out goes Mo Sanders right with him. Sanders outweighs Micah Martin, but so do some of the characters at Universal Studios. And they're together on the jam right now. Sanders on the inside, Micah Martin up top. Martin for the hot dive. Took Mo Sanders out of there. But now he has to contend with Robles. And right now, the last thing on Martin's mind is what kind of skates is Robles wearing. Webber comes back to help out. Now a whip. They get by him. They got by Robles for the point. And Mo Sanders trying to come up late, gets knocked down by Webber. to chin. Quad skates on Weber.
Well, Mark Weber has two things really working against him, Rory. He's outnumbered in the squawking department with Robles and Richard Brown. But he also, once again, has these quad skates on.
Well, a man getting a parking ticket would be outnumbered in the squawk department by Brown and Robles. And there go the Riot. They get the jam around. Mike Tanner's out there by himself. But here comes a whip to the Illinois Riot jammer. That's number 36, Jason McDaniel. This is the last jam of the first half. Weber's in the back of the pack. Weber grabs his man and throws him into the railing. And now the Hot Guys looking to pick up some more points. They have right now a 4-point lead. Robles is back there, and Robles is getting some punishment from Weber. He's being held. The referee warns him. I think Weber doesn't care as much about the point. The teamwork of McDaniel again takes Ray Robles out of the play.
Well, with Jason McDaniel, we saw this emotional high that he gets on in Las Vegas. He hasn't missed a beat coming here to the confines of Orlando. You see the intensity and the celebratory attitude in his face. That can do nothing but pump up his team. That's what he does. He saw it on board in Las Vegas. Mark Weber, thank you, my brother. Ray Robles, you ain't seen nothing yet.
The Hot Guys have taken the lead at halftime. It's 12-8. We'll be right back to Orlando with halftime highlights.